Hi, Luminaires. Hi, everyone. How are you today? My name is Jamie Butler. I'm the Everyday Medium, and I would love to hang out with you today and talk about your sensitivities. Your sensitivity is what actually makes it easier for you to go into trance state. And I want to break it down and highlight your amazing abilities because most likely, if you're hanging out here, you're absolutely highly sensitive. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Before we dive into that, if you want to know what's going on in our world or join us, especially join us in Sedona for accessing higher consciousness energy, I'm going to get comfortable as we chat. That's at the end of February, beginning of March. It is a 3-day intensive. And if you want to practice holding those higher energies, come. We're going to be doing breath work, meditation, trance work, and really practicing holding that higher frequency as you move through the retreat throughout the days. If you want to join us for any kind of healing lessons, I have Reiki Level 2 coming up, as well as Mastership. So that's Level 2, Level 3, and Reiki. And we have 2 series coming up. One is Learn to Trance Channel, which we're going to talk about trance channeling today. That's coming up. It's a 16-week series over 18 weeks. And then I also have Building a New Relationship with Spirit coming up. So if you want to communicate directly to Spirit and receive messages with a loved one, animal companion, and you haven't developed that connection yet, this is the series to get into. But if you're interested in trance channeling, do check the links below. Everything is in the description, or just pop over to our website, jamiebutlermedium.com. Thank you for listening to all of that as we get into being highly sensitive and what that means. If you describe yourself as highly sensitive and you have joined us live, put your fingers to the keyboard. Let us know your definition of that. And if you're aware of what kind of sensitivities that you have, I would like to hear about it because we all work at this so differently. So let's get into sharing. And I think as we learn from our differences, what tends to happen is that we're able to figure out more how to celebrate our differences. And so we don't get stuck on, am I doing this right? Is this wrong? Is this, we can get so caught up in all of that. It's kind of frustrating, but it happens because we're human. So let me know how it is. We have Fluffy Pancake, sharing sensitive, intuitive, Angel Heart 1111, aware of energy around me. So the awareness of. And Colleen is joining in. She said today at the dentist, I felt like everything was magnified, the lights, the sound, the buzzing. So really able to perceive everything, like all the frequencies. Emma says, well, I think you did my attunement yesterday. I did. Emma joined for Reiki Level 1, which you can watch the recording. And I'll do your attunement remotely, but it's one-on-one remotely. And I did do Emma's attunement yesterday, and she is dizzy today, which is a detoxing sign of getting your Reiki attunement. We should have like a whole thing about blowing open what Reiki is in the attunement world and talking about all those secrets. Oh my God. So Lorraine says clairvoyance, clear knowing. Yes. Okay, let's look at this. I want to go over how a sensitive nervous system, which highly sensitive people have, tune into subtle light realms very easily. And that's what makes it sensitive, is that it has this ability to tune in. And I also want to talk about that empath, those clairsensitives that you're hearing here that people are sharing about, how you tend to naturally drop into altered states of consciousness. You might not call it that, but I'm going to highlight what that is. And then I hope you sit around and just go, wait, what? I do that? Because you do. And then highly intuitive people out there, you trust your inner knowing more than anyone else. So if you're sitting out there and you're like, I just know stuff, I just bring it in and I know it, this is what that's about. And I also want to talk about how sensitivity creates a safe access to higher consciousness because of that trust. Yeah, everything gets amplified when you're highly sensitive. It's pretty wild. So when it comes to trance states, channeling information, spiritual connection, spirit communication. Your sensitivity is actually what makes it easier for you to open, to receive, and to access higher guidance, higher frequencies. And that's really what you want to look at. I think it's wonderful if you want to learn trance states and how to be in tune with them, how to know how to bring that on for yourself. But it's more beneficial to connect to what your psychic abilities are. So, in my series, not to bring it up too much, because I really want to talk about this, but it just made me remember in the series, at the beginning of it, I go through sensitivities, what they are, how they work for you. And I also like to teach how it benefits your channeling abilities. So, as a clairsensitive, not necessarily mean I'm more clairvoyant, clairaudient, when you feel information beyond average, like knowing, when you feel it, you can link that to certain places along your trance to know where you are. So when you have a certain feeling, you know you've gone this far. When you have that next feeling, you know you've reached that and you've gone further. So it's really interesting how you can use that. But when you're highly sensitive and you're open this way, you're really wired for depth, for this deep frequency. You're wired for awareness, for connection. And I want to help celebrate that with you. Let's make it bigger. Let's make it stronger. Let's make it to where we can trust it and use it in our everyday choices, hence everyday medium. So I'm going to share why trance states come naturally to highly sensitive people, to empaths, to intuitives, and I'll throw in some real stories of my own and some about my son that he does quite often. I don't know if he's watching this, but maybe my parents are. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. And so hopefully if I share some stories, you might see yourself in it as well. Yay, Lorraine's like, thank you. I love to learn more. Let's do it. I love sharing and teaching. So let's talk about how a sensitive nervous system is already tuned to subtle realms. So what is a sensitive nervous system? Doesn't that like ping visuals for you when you think about it? It's like highly sensitive people don't just feel emotion. They feel everything. Their nervous system is not just Newtonian. It's not just about cause effect. It's feeling into everything. You process your senses, your information on a deeper level. You will notice tone. You'll notice what's happening in the atmosphere. You'll pick up on subtle shifts in the room. Like you're in the middle of a conversation and you feel like you're connecting and it's going well. And all of a sudden you have this like bump, like you've hit a tiny wall. Do you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden we're not connecting the same way. Something is different. Something is different. And it's like, that needs to be paid attention to. It's not about you not being a good listener or not saying the right thing or losing track of the conversation. That was your nervous system tapping into other frequencies, other dimensions, other realms. I mean, you can call it so many different things. And nowadays, not to throw us off here, nowadays, it could be your highly sensitive nervous system tapping into different timelines that you are participating in. And it's giving you information about what's occurring in different timelines. I know it might be a lot. It's okay. But with this, you can feel the shift in the energy of a conversation, of a room. Um, you're you're just so much more open. Like when somebody walks up to you, you know if they're upset, if they're happy. Like you've already gotten information about them before they say hi to you, and you haven't touched them. Like you can feel when something is off or when it's in flow. You don't even have to be in the situation to know if it's in alignment or off. Like your nervous system is always scanning and it's ahead of you and it's inside of all those invisible layers of light and reality and realms and dimensions, and it's just bringing in information to you all the time. I like to share that you are satellite dishes. Like you're just this big satellite dish. And the satellite dish is always getting those pings of information. It's the frequencies that are in the air. And if we're truly all made of the same thing, right? If we're truly made of all the same thing, then it would make sense that you would be able to know what that over there is and how it is in relationship to you and what it is going through, because you're made of the same energy. So when your nervous system is highly sensitive and it's accessing all of that, you can get that information like reflected off of you. Most people don't do this. Most people come into a room and they're attracted to the loud thing or the bright thing or all the physicality. They're more engaged with the obvious world, the Newtonian world, if we want to call it that. But you sensitives, you're different. You tune into the energy of a room. You notice that first. The tone. When you come into a room, you're like, oh, I don't mind being here. Oh, this is nice. And it could look like crap, it could be kind of dirty or whatever, but for you, it feels good. So you're going to be there. Or you go into a room and it's like beautifully done, but you don't feel good about it. Like your nervous system goes, we can't process this energy. We can't get into this. This is a no. And so you'll back off, you'll back away from it. Yeah. Like spa 11. What is it? 11199 is going, yes. Oh my God, that's so true. You're describing me. It's really interesting, right? Emma's like, oh my God, I can so relate to this. Like a walking lightning rod. I love this. Okay. You can also pick up on that emotion from a person, animal. Oh my God, this is what I love the most. So you could go to a person's house and let's say they have a big old mean dog. I did say dog. And you come in and you're just you, and the dog runs up to you and the owner's like, oh my God, no, down, down, down. Oh, I'm sorry. He's really aggressive and he's a biter. I'll just don't get around him. And they're pulling the dog off of you, right? And you're like, oh, whatever, okay. Respect, like, your dog. And then you sit down and the dog rushes up to you and the dog looks like it's paying homage to you. Like, hey, is so nice to you. And kissing your hand. Oh, head on your lap. And the owner's like, what is my dog doing? Like, he doesn't treat anybody like this. He's mean. He doesn't like anybody. But why does he like you? You can say, I'm a dog whisperer, or I like animals, or I'm okay. No, you know what it is? Your beautiful, sensitive nervous system is so open and receptive that dog is like, you're home base. You're safe, lady. You're safe, man. I'm going to come right up to you. I'm just going to lay down on you. This is fabulous. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And it confuses the owner. It's just, I love it, how you can just create that space. And your nervous system will come in with, I want to call it intention. We think about intention as something that we set mentally, but your nervous system can do it as well. You come in with a certain presence, a certain vibration, and this is what the animals are able to pick up on, and they will literally behave differently around you. That awareness is required to get into trance states. All of what you're doing, we're like, oh my God, that sounds like me, that's me. That is what's needed to get into trance. It was interesting because trance isn't always about leaving your body. It can be. Like if we talk about full body trance channeling, it's about you leaving the body. But majority of trance states are altered states of consciousness, and you are in your body. And it's about deep listening, and it's about deep connection. It's about being in tune with what's happening around you. And it's about allowing your perception of the world around you, the objects, the Newtonian world, all of that to expand. So you live in this world of sensitivity, but you also live in this, like, something more is possible that's around me. It's like you have this cool little hope of like, yeah, this is what it is, but it can change because you can feel it. You can connect to it in a different way. Like when you meet someone, most likely you will align to their best outcome. And it might not be what they show you, but you're like, I connect to your highest potential. I get it. And so you have a larger bandwidth of compassion with them. It's really interesting. Like when I was younger, I didn't realize, but my nervous system was tuning into subtle light energy all the time. I just use it as I see this and I hear this. I rarely kind of felt it, but trance work is, it gives me the language to something that I've been doing my whole life, which is this sensitivity around the nervous system. When we get into altered states of consciousness, um, you're required to understand that extra layer of energy that is on top of a situation, because that's where you're going. Because often when you get into trance states, you lift up a little bit. I don't know if this is going to make sense to everyone, but you sensitives, I feel like it will. um, you lift up off the awareness. And in fact, when you go to retell the experience or the story to another person about what happened to you, most likely you will say what it is, and the other person will go, "Oh, I didn't see it like that at all. Like, where were you? What did you what did you experience? Because it's not what I did." You naturally tune into the energies of it rather than the linear outline or cause and effect experience of a situation. You will talk about a person's emotion, the feeling and the energy in the room instead of the object and the time frame and what happened. So you're a little bit more elusive. It's just up a little bit higher. Do the clairs go in order? Asks Fluffy Pancake. Isn't it easier to start with one and then others? Example, easiest being first claircognizant, second voyant, third audient. Hope it makes sense. The question does make sense, but nope. No, let's scramble them. For each person, it's going to be extremely different. And you'll find that you might be somebody who pairs it together. You know, as we've talked about, what is your sensitivities? Like Barbara Hartlove, it's like, I just know things, and that's claircognizance. And for some people, that is so easy. It just pops in and you just know it and you just know it and you just know it. Where other people who are more heady, when an idea comes in, they cut it and they destroy it and they unwrap it because they want to know where the source is and why are they thinking about it? Where did it come from? And why? And it's gone. And so claircognizance is very difficult for them, but they might have an easier time feeling. So I say check in with what feels easiest to you and do that. Focus on that. The others will start unfolding because they're all linked together, but there's not necessarily an order that we can say everybody goes through. Like Lost Between Realms, I just know things and I feel things. So knowing it, claircognizance, feeling it, clairsentient. And so these come together. So we were just talking about just having a sensitive nervous system where you can process more than what's in the room. But let's talk about your empaths. You empaths out there, the way you feel things, because empaths will naturally drop into altered states of consciousness. You do it all the time. It's like sometimes this is the kind of friend we want to like lean to and go, dude, are you all right? You okay? Are you here? They're like, huh? Because empaths shift consciousness constantly. You wouldn't think about it that way. So an empath is a clairsentient, but an empath is more wide open, moving, feeling, and processing everything through them, where a clairsentient is like, oh, I can do that, but I have boundaries around it and I know where it comes from. Like I'm more awake with it. I'm more aware. But that sensitivity, you guys listen on a level that only dogs can hear. Like it's just incredible. You listen so much deeper. You're well versed in practice at holding space for others, even if it's something that you don't approve of, but you can be present for it. You naturally comfort. So you come in with ease and empathy. And so those who are around you feel comfortable and they shift altered states of awareness by being in your light. by being in your frequency. And so when people leave your presence, they're like, oh, when I first came in here, I was just so irritated, like this and that was happening in my life, but I just feel so much better. I love talking to you. I always feel so good. Now that's kind of the imprint of an empath or a clairsentient. You're constantly reading emotional energy, constantly reading it in the room, like you never rest. Well, I was just reading somebody going, Nicola, being an empath is tough. Sometimes like feeling the weight of the world on some days. Yeah, it is. You're on all the time. All the time. Like if you were to shut yourself off, that would be closing you up and you wouldn't feel good in doing that. So it's needed for you to understand what your abilities are so that you can help yourself stay your brightest without being overwhelmed. Oh, sweetly morbid bear, sending you hugs. I love you. Oh, yes. And then is it Josie? I need better glasses, I think. And goes, yeah, and after this, I get so drained. Yes, it can be. So an empath can feel very drained. So we want to pay attention with boundary setting. So I love in class teaching you about your sensitivities and where your limits are with that. Please know your limits. We are limitless people. People are limitless. But if we get into one thing too much, too deep, it can take from us in ways where we don't feel like we're in balance. And then we start to feel like we are drained. So we need to pay attention to it. Our little empaths, our clear sensitives that naturally just drop into altered states, you guys also are so good at feeling into a situation. And most likely you'll use words like, I feel, and I feel, and I feel, and I feel, like you feel everything. And you tend to walk in very soft and open. You like to expand your awareness. And that in and of itself is a type of trance. Have you done that? Where you come into a space and it's almost like you have a viewpoint of everything that's going on as a whole? That is a state of trance. There's many different states of trance, all the way from like full body where you're not conscious, but information is moving through you. This is like Edgar Casey. This is how I channel with Grace and Maitland and the angels and beings. Or you can go what I call auctioneer. There's not really names for it, but you're in a high alpha state. Trance is when your brain waves alter in your awake state. Your awake state is beta state. That's where you're collecting information. You're listening right now. You might be learning. You might be thinking about what to type. Please leave your comments below. And then that is your beta. And if you alter from beta, you're now officially in an altered state of consciousness. As you're listening to me, if you fall off into a daydream and you're thinking about something else, what to do, hello, alpha. That's probably a light alpha. It's where daydreams happen. A deep alpha is where you go to daydream and you disconnect from your environment and somebody comes over and goes, hey, wake up, come back to the task. And you go, what'd you say? What's that? What's happening? That's deep alpha. You were daydreaming and we need you back. And then you go into light theta. This is where hypnosis occurs. Highway hypnosis. You can be driving awake, but you're in a different brainwave state than beta. And deep theta is reprogramming. So when you go into hypnosis or theta therapy and healing, where they give you words and frequencies to allow your brain to rewire to that and let go of the habits maybe that you're wanting to let go, or stepping into remembering more or healing. And then, of course, there's delta state, and delta is the deepest, which is the slowest firing off your brain can do. And this is where you can have dreams. No, it's dreamless. Theta can be full of dreams. What are we saying? Yes. So trance is not something that you force. It can come on very naturally. It's something that you allow. It's something that rolls in like a fog. And empaths are masters at it because you are using all of you in a heightened awareness. And when you're heightened and you catch those frequencies to take you into what we'll call a deeper state of mind, which is an altered state of mind that gets you into trance states. And your system, like your whole body, all of your systems, your body, your emotions, your mental body, it knows how to relax. Like it will relax into this release. It relaxes into this openness, if you know what I mean. It just kind of goes, ah. It's like your energy field is held when you are in beta brainwave. You're like, this is my character. This is my personality. This is my dance space. Here it is. This is how I know who I am. You get into an altered state of consciousness and your dance space goes like this. And it widens. And you're no longer thinking about, here's my character, here's my name, here's my behaviors, here is how I identify. This is my ego. This is my, id. It's like, no. I'm now connecting to higher frequencies. I'm leaving belief systems behind that don't work here. Like I am giving my attention to higher, like dimensional realms. We can call it kind of whatever you would like. But this will happen naturally to an empath when you go into meditate, when you get into breathing patterns, when you go into ground your body, your mind. It just naturally quiets and your perception just opens up. That is trance. That's not you spacing out. That's you dropping in. That kind of space out where, wake up, come back to the conversation. What are you doing? Why aren't you listening to me? That wasn't you spacing out and getting away. That's you dropping into altered states of consciousness. Like, doesn't it make you wonder, if you can do this so easily and so freely, why don't you know the skill and how to use it more? Why aren't we teaching this to each other? It's so healing and so wonderful. Like my son, Luca, when he was little, he still does it today. We would take long car trips, as families do. And we would be talking, and my son would be like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. He was really into Ninjago. It was a cartoon back then. La, la, la. And then he'd go, okay, Mom. He called me Mama. Okay, Mama. I've had enough. I'm going to now look out the window and daydream so I can feel better. What kid says this? And okay, babe. And he would literally, like, here's the window. He'd go. And he'd be like gone for 20, 30, 40 minutes. Like you keep looking back and there he is, same position. And then when he was finished, he'd do this. He was a little kid too, guys. This is not like 6, 7. He's like 3, 4, 5. He still does it today. He's 21. And he'd go, okay, I feel better. And he would like come back into a conversation like we hadn't taken a break. You're like, oh, where did he go? He knew that he could drop into his altered state of consciousness and go vibe with his higher energies and feel better. And he would announce it. Okay, I'm going to look out the window now. And that's how he would do it. He'd find a window and he'd be gone. It was wild. Yeah, Vlad. Oh, you know Luca. Mary Lloyd. Luca's my spirit hero. Mary, can't you see that in him? He'll do that today, but now that he's older, he applies limitations to it, and he'll say, why can't I pay attention? Why can't I just stay focused? He goes, I just kind of go out and And I'd remind him, you used to do that all the time and you loved it. Like, does it not give you the same thing? He goes, it does, but it takes my time away. So he wants to now invest his time more as a human and put it into things that will give him back to help him on his human path. And so he struggles with his ability to check out, but he doesn't really want to talk about it too much. So this is like all I know that he's doing these days. Okay, let's look at the third thing. Highly intuitive people, pointing at you. You have this thing where you can trust your inner knowing so much quicker and so much easier than others. It's because of your level of intuition. You already live from inner guidance. It might have a voice for you, it might have a feeling, it just might have a knowing for you, but you live from in here. Like when you feel when something is right, you click into it and you're like, yep. But you probably couldn't tell the rest of us, like how you knew it was right. And you couldn't point to the source of information that told you that it was right, but your body knew it was right. Like it all came in. And it would do the same thing if it was wrong. Your body would just kind of like go, no. And you don't even question it. You just go, okay, that's not it. It might be a thought, it might be a feeling, a color, a sound. It just might be something that overwhelms you and you don't even know what to call it. But it's inner guidance and you listen to it. And you have this way of sensing timing. You sense alignment. And you are so much fun to have in a friend group because we can be in chaos at a concert, at a bar, like a bunch of people, just so many moving parts. And you're the person that goes, follow me, I know where to go. And you just move. And when people behind you go, whoa, where are we going? What are we doing? Just follow me, because you can't tell us because you don't know, but you move with purpose. And you also know when to wait, like when to stop and pause and be like, we don't need to go anywhere. We're going to stay right here. We're just going to wait for it. And it's wild. You will end up in perfect alignment of what you want to co-create in the world. It's like you are a magnet and your inner guidance is amplifying that magnetism and that inner voice, that color, that drive, that whatever. It's not your imagination. You are not making up. There's no way that you could make it up. And if you sat down and repeated what signals went off and what you did, you would laugh at yourself because you would know there's no way that you could make it up because it's not your imagination. It's absolute pure intelligence. It so comes from within. And that trance state amplifies that kind of intelligence. It's so cool. So when you enter trance, you're simply just turning up the volume of what you already do, what you already know, all that inner guidance. It's not all the time with trance are you becoming someone else. If you are trance channeling and you're allowing entities to move through you, then you're sharing space with them. But you have to raise your frequencies. You have to listen to your inner guidance to be able to do that. Most trance states, when you are channeling, you're calling down from higher consciousness. You're calling down from other aspects of you, and you can become more of yourself, accessing more aspects of you. You'll find that sensitive people really don't need to learn intuition. It's like you remember it. It just comes to it. It's the trust of allowing it to come down and flow through you because you've been receiving that guidance your whole entire life. There we go. Let's scroll. Thank you, Connie's happy, and Vlad and Colleen. You guys are saying if you like the content, give us a thumbs up. Hit the like button. It's always helpful, as well as sign up for, hit the bell and sign up so that you see when we go live and we talk about these topics. Creating a following and subscriptions to our channel is very helpful to get our message out to more and find people who are looking for like-minded, woo-woo, it's true information out there in a very normalized way. So I super appreciate all your thumbs ups. Sabrina was saying, my guides step in instantly without warning at times to speak with the one in front of me. I am there 1 minute and gone the next. Have you experienced this? It's like an instant trance. I have witnessed this a handful of times with other people, Sabrina, but I have not experienced it myself. So with that, there would be several things if, I don't know if you're asking more about that or if you're just knowing if I've come across it or not, because you're not alone. This happens to many people, and it will commonly happen with someone two different ways. And I don't know which way you are, just try each of them on. One is that you don't have proper filters in place to select your timing of when you're going to channel. It's your body, you have sovereignty, you make the rules. And maybe you just haven't sat down and thought about that. Or it could be that you have a intent or a desire to help people so much that you have foregone or passed your boundaries or your filters. So you might have said, hey, if there's an important message, I am of service, let me be your rock. I'll be here to do it. And so Spirit goes, we got you. Thanks, Sabrina. And they move right through and they get the message through and they come back out. So it's simply, I know you're not asking this, deciding where you are. I think it's best to always know how you're operating your abilities. Even if they're like crazy town, like there's no right or wrong way. You just need to be massively in love and in alignment with how you're doing it. And I will say, if you get around a teacher or somebody who is telling you there's only one way to do it and you need to do it this way, and this is the path, and this is the da-da-da, and this is, and they take away your autonomy and your sovereignty, question that person. Even if it's me, if I'm doing that to you, question, come at me. Why would you say that? Why would you do that? Because that is not my goal. I definitely want to look at how you are approaching things and empower you and make sure that you're in love with what you're doing, because I celebrate those differences out there. We need differences. It's what makes the world go round. It's so awesome. So this intuitive kind of example, I've shared this a few times before, and it's not like life-changing, but this happens so much where I will be doing something in my world, and then all of a sudden, I feel like I got to get up and go. I knew I needed a new computer one day. My computer was acting up. There was a huge storm, lightning on top of Atlanta, like all over the place, which it's like Florida where I grew up, so it doesn't really bother me. And I set up, the sky is dark, it's just pouring. And I looked at my husband, I went, I have to go to the Apple store. I got to go get a computer now. He was like, whoa. Like, it's horrible out there. People don't know how to drive in this. And I was like, I'm fine. I got to go. He's like, whatever. I couldn't stop. Like, I had to go. But if I was using my logic, I wouldn't have left. That was too much, you know? So I got to the mall, drenched. And I get there and I'm like, I need to be helped at the Apple store. Hardly anybody is in there. Like, it's so dark outside the mall. It looks like it's nighttime. And so I'm going, yeah, well, I need a computer. Oh, yeah, we'll hook you up with this salesperson. Yeah, I get to them. He's like, hi. And it was like meeting family. I was like, hi. He's like, so what do you need? He was so wonderful. And I got a great computer at a great discount. I didn't even know Apple offered discounts for teachers and this and that. And he sat down and he showed me everything. And he just said, this has been, the brightest point of my entire week. Like, because we talked about spirituality and connection and purpose. And when I left, I said, I must have like felt your calling, because I was at home and I knew I had to be here instead. I said, thank you so much for helping me. And we never saw each other again after that, but it was just this beautiful moment of connection and being together. So when you get that spark to take action in your life, and your logic is definitely going, whoa, what? I don't understand. why? Why? Then go, okay, this is obviously an intuitive thing coming in, my highly intuitiveness. I will sign up for that. Let me check it out. Let me follow it, see what happens. If we can do more and more of that, then you coming into trance states to collect more information, messages, communicate to spirit, help other people, like all of that would be so much easier to access. Can you imagine? I stopped doubting myself when these things came up and I started listening to them. And I told my brain, my logic brain, hey, when this happens again, I want you to get really, really excited. It means something really cool is about to go down. So let's go follow it and see what happens. And so now when I get those hits, my brain goes, wait, we don't understand what's happening. So this thing is going on. The light bulbs are coming on. Let's go do it. As long as you're physically safe, go do it. Because you'll start to see that the universal energy, the wholeness that's around you is really supporting you. And it's giving you these pings, like it's flicking you on the back of the ear, the head. It's not really trying to challenge you. It's saying, go, listen to me, move. You too. Trust what's calling, says Mary Lloyd, and you have people around you that trust the calling too. Yes. Mary Lloyd, not to call you out, but are you still doing animal readings? Because I just had somebody reach out to me today wanting some assistance with their dog. And if not, I'm sorry to have bothered you, but if so, may I share your information with that person? That just really came to mind right now, and I wanted to get that out. Mary Lloyd. If so, and you don't mind letting us all know, you can let us all know in the chat thread, but you can also reach out privately too. Okay. Anyways, fourth thing that I want to talk about, sensitivity, how it creates safe access to higher consciousness. So your sensitivity, like, can bubble wrap you. Sensitivity doesn't mean you're fragile, vulnerable, broken. No. Like, trance state requires, above anything else, feeling safe. If you don't feel safe, you can't go nowhere. Thank you, Mary Lloyd. I will pass your information on. If you want to post that you do this, please here. Mary Lloyd does animal readings, and she's very wonderful at it. Okay, so if you don't feel safe, you're not going to be traveling to altered states of consciousness. Your nervous system must feel safe to open up. Your body must feel grounded. Your mind must feel supported. And sensitive people are deeply aware of their inner world and all of these moving bits. And you know how to take care of it. You notice when something feels off. You notice when something feels alive. You know when your body is saying yes. You know when your body is saying no. And you use it. And that awareness creates natural boundaries. And those boundaries create safety. And I know sometimes you'll say to other people, I don't know if I'm just acting weird. I know this may be out of the blue, but I need to, like, I'm out of here. And you're like, oh, okay. But if we've been indoctrinated to stay and follow through, persevere and push, we could be trampling on our sensitivities. So it's really important to allow them to come through and begin to trust them. So sensitive people can move into higher states of consciousness without force, strain, or overwhelm because they know how to create that safety. They trust. And it's not like you're trying to escape humanity. It's not like you're trying to get away from your life by getting into altered states. It's really a dropping in to integrate higher frequencies into your life. It's not about crawling out of it. It's really about honoring it, supporting it, allowing it to move into all of your choices. It's just a sweet spot. And that's why you're able to. Thank you. Thank you for fleshing everything out in the chat thread. That's why you're able to move into trance channeling. So if you've ever been told that you are too much, that you are too emotional, that you're too sensitive, that you're too intense, you're too unpredictable, let me say this very, very clearly to you. Luminaire, you are not too much. You are deeply attuned. You're not broken. You're beautifully wired. And your sensitivities, that's the doorway, not this structured Newtonian world that you are co creating with. Move into your sensitivities, give your permission to make it stronger. Your intuition is the key to access everything, it's the bridge, and you don't need to become spiritual or take on certain beliefs, to achieve it. Just follow yourself, stay right where you are, practice the art of mindfulness and staying present. That will keep you in safety, and that will keep you trusting your abilities and all these pings and these hits that you get, and that will take you into altered states of consciousness, connecting to more than what's seen by a lot of people out there in the world. It'll also help you remember what I don't want to call it information. It'll also help you reconnect to those vibrations that you know are real and that you know are out there and a part of you. If we stay in our linear 3D Newtonian world, the limitation of language to describe how you really vibrate and expand and move and navigate through your world, limitation. It's like you trap yourself. You hold yourself low. So do give yourself permission. And if you're interested in getting into altered states of consciousness and using it to help make decisions, to help connect, to receive messages from spirit, God source, other realms, things of that nature. I know that sounds really sci-fi, but it's where we are. Just remember, you're built for that kind of protection. You're built for higher conscious activity. And I would be so happy to help you, to teach, to be a part of it, to lead you to resources that can help you. Yes, yes. I'm not going to read that, but yes. Josie, yes. Or Jose, if I'm reading it right. So this is how being sensitive actually links you into trance channeling more than anything. So if you want to learn more about it, join me for the class. We start in February. Yeah, I think it's in February. Colleen can let us know. The link is down below. And I super appreciate you guys lingering and tapping in. February 4th. There we go. I appreciate you lingering and tapping in as we talk about some of the examples of what being highly sensitive is and how that actually requires or leads you into altered states of consciousness. Hone in on it. I want to say make it yours, but it sounded really controlling. But make it yours. Own it. And remember, this is not woo-woo. It's true. We're normalizing this. Our abilities are growing. Our sensitivities are growing. It's okay to use them every single day. You're finding the language around it. You're finding how to actively support it in your day-to-day choices, actions, and decisions. And I think that's great. Keep up the good work. The more you rise, we all rise. Take care of yourselves today and have a fabulous rest of your day. Look forward to seeing you maybe in one of our retreats or a series, a healing, a class. Take care of yourself, guys. Bye.